up to 7.7 million pounds of
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway. Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Oh, that view is tremendous.
My feet are out. Okay, I'm out. The flight director says get back in. Jimmy 4, get back in.
Current velocity 35,570 feet per second. Charlie, it might sound corny, but the view is really out of this world.
Marie Curie, Marconi, John Hubo, John F. Kennedy, Leonardo da Vinci, Charles Yeager.
It could honestly be said that our exploration of space is the culmination of man's dreams over 25 centuries of recorded time. But what fantasy in that evolving process could have guessed the shape of reality? The Saturn V rocket, which would one day thrust Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins into lunar orbit. 3 stages, 28 stories tall, with 11 engines as powerful as all the waterfalls in North America combined. Before that reality, however, there would be years of planning, of building, of testing, all of it impossible without the funding. Enter the astronaut to personalize the dream, and his trumpeters.
We thought you ought to meet Tucker Thomas before his cameras and typewriters start clicking. Now, as you know, he manages and publishes Middle America. And it's his job to sell these things.
I know. We're in the goldfish bowl again.
Speaking of which, here's the man responsible for that bowl. Tucker, say hello to Dr. Mutt.
Dr. Mutt, I'm delighted.
Stanley, please.
Hey, Stan, you're my kind of man, straight and simple. That's the way I run my magazine. And that's the way I outbid life for this story. No fancy frou-frou escalations down the line, just hard cash up front. Too much of it to blow on some foul up.
I hope you're not concerned about any one of our 6 guys here.
Ah, these are choir boys with sock. No, I'm worried about these wives.
There's no psychological hang-up I can see.
Well, you're talking clinical. I'm talking practical. And I tell you, I told you before, we have 5 normals and 1 problem.
This one's certainly not a problem.
Oh, that's Hickory Lee's wife. No, she's as good as she looks. Say the same about Cater, the Bells, her. But here, the cloud darkens somewhat.
With Debbie D. Claggett? Tucker, the woman's the most popular one of the bunch.
She's blousy, Stan. Look at her, that hairdo. She won't wear a bra. Cigarette always hanging out of her mouth. And I can't decide how to go with her. Depression's child or windblown original.
Debbie D's no problem, as long as we can keep her from cussing in public.
Yeah, maybe. But here, my dear friends, is a real time bomb.
Penny Pope,
Penny Pope.
you're wrong. She's a classic original. Small town, childhood sweetheart, regular churchgoer.
Time bomb, Stan. You know what Life magazine discovered with their astronauts? On the day the flight takes off, you want pictures of the little women waiting at home or in church. 2 kids, a white picket fence.
Sure, a couple of skateboards. Why don't you throw in whatever you want? Maybe a ball glove.
I'm not getting through to you, Stan. It's not joke time when John Pope takes off for space. And what am I going to photograph? His wife in a Washington office biting on her pencil?
Mister, it is not joke time when you're talking about Penny Pope. That woman happens to have been a big advocate of the space program for a long time.
I know that. I appreciate it. But she's a professional woman. That's absolute disaster with Middle America's readers. 2/3 of them are women, and it depresses them to see some bright chick like Penny Pope holding down a big job and keeping her figure.
Well, I think you underestimate the gender, Tuck.
Tell me I underestimate the gender. I made a fortune doing exactly that. I say this little lady's a nuclear bomb, right at the heart of the program.
He did it again! I don't believe it!
Take it easy, Michael.
Stop sulking, Mike.
Why, Tittle pick those redskins apart. He usually does.
It's just a game, honey.
I know it's only a game, but you mind if I get involved?
Can we drop you off, Penny?
Yeah, I'll be glad to.
Are you sure?
No
It's on
problem.
your way.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
I'm sorry Eleanor couldn't come, Norman.
Yeah, but she made a very good substitute.
Well, thank you. It's usually have a deep bench, Senator. Give my regards at home.
You too, hon, to that marvelous specimen, wherever he is.
Houston.
Main floor. Watch your steps getting off, please.
Why don't we all go and have a drink?
Oh,
Great.
Esther, I'd love to, but I have a lot of work
No,
to do
we
this
got a lot of
afternoon. I
driving to do.
had such a
Michael?
good time, thanks.
See you tomorrow. Enjoyed it very much.
Bye-bye.
Maybe next week the Redskins do a little better, Michael.
Certainly hope so.
Now, would you like to have a drink?
I would, yes.
Gentlemen, the infamous Skip Morgan.
Sorry we're late, but Claggett tripped over a blonde getting here this morning.
Nymphomania is part of his dossier, so I'll make an allowance this time.
Joe Skipper. You need me, I'll be up in my office. Boys, best of luck. As you'll find out, you're gonna need it.
Have a seat, gentlemen.
Your seat's over there, Harry.
Welcome to the salt mines. See those manuals facing you? By the time your name is called for a flight, you will have memorized everything in boldface and understood the rest, and I mean thoroughly. What you're looking at, Colonel, contains diagrams of electricity as it travels through the miles of wiring in the Gemini spacecraft. And what you're seeing, Mr. Bell, a series of overlays allowing you to see inside your rocket thrusters.
Holy moly.
Don't get thrown, Captain. It's all going to come together for you. It's all going to come together for all of you. Assuming there's no deviation from the study schedule I've worked out for you with Dr. Mott. And that schedule calls for 2 hours of intellectual discussion a day, 10 hours of lab work, 2 hours of comparing notes, then 10 more hours of hands-on experience. I say something funny, Glaggett?
No, sir. No, I'm just counting along with you. And, well, I don't mind giving up eating and sleeping. You just laid out a 24-hour day without a social breather.
Sorry about that. You'll have to get along with your memories for a while. Now, we're also assigning each of you a field of specialization, because of your airplane knowledge, you get structures, Lee, your electrical systems, Bell, your flight surfaces. Jensen, you being 5'4" actually helps us here. Flight gear and survival mechanics. Your work on propulsion at Edwards makes you our rockets man, Cater, and Pope, navigation and computers.
Great. But would I be out of line if I asked you how I do that one?
Doctorate in astronomy. No other questions? Good. Now recess till 1600 hours while you stow these manuals.
This stuff weighs more than Jensen does.
Yeah, but I'm a lot more laps.
You're a natural-born leader, too, Harry.
Absolutely. And when we colonize new planets, you're going to be surprised to learn there's societies out there where anyone over 5'6" is suspect.
Hey, why don't you slip by the house for a brew? 10 o'clock in the morning? 10:05.
I gotta make a phone call.
Uh-oh. Long-distance loving, AC. It's for the birds. You better check out the local groupies. All right, invade your turf. Get it. What do you think?
It's nice.
Nice. Oh, come on.
You know, from the looks of that spectacular photo, I think you ought to be inside with the kids watching Gunsmoke.
Well, I like it.
You probably had lots of things on your mind, like blonde things and brunette things.
Well, how about bald? You never heard about my addiction to women who wear toupees? Skinheads.
You know, I was coming to that.
Well, I should hope so. I mean, I never was one to discriminate now.
Yeah, if you had been, I most likely wouldn't have hooked you myself.
Debbie J, stop talking like that.
What?
Oh, come on. You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, well, I guess that is reassuring, knowing I prevail over a cast of thousands.
What the hell's going on with you? I mean, you're the one that laid out the ground rules.
Yeah, and I'm glad to live with it.
But you keep telling me that's the difference between you and the other wives.
It is. Only this morning, Gloria Cater asked me if I didn't think that the groupie scene was getting out of hand. And I told her that I didn't think it would take a scene to divert you boys, and that if you were looking for trouble, you were going to find it.
Meaning you never know where I am?
Meaning you're wherever you tell me you are. And that's the only way I can handle it.
Oh, jeez. That's crazy. There's nothing to handle. Nothing at all. Now, you know that stuff don't mean diddly to me.
You just be sure and tell me when it does.
I promise.
Oh, it's all right, it's all right.
Now, let's go find out how Big Jim Arness is making out with the bad guys, huh? Come on.
Next 90 days, it's my job to test your minds and your bodies to the breaking point. You will be pushed, pulled, turned inside out, and upside down. How long can you bake? How long can you breathe? We need to know how you will respond to...
Let me lay out some of our primary objectives. During the Gemini program, we will subject 2 men and a supporting equipment to long-duration flights. We'll conduct research and gain experience.
Navigation, ion sensing, attitude control, astronaut visibility, zodiacal light photography, radiation and zero-G on blood, star occultation, navigation, radiation of spacecraft. Let me remind you,
Zero gravity rendezvous and docking experience. UHF, VHF polarization. Synoptic terrain photography. Cloud top spectrometer. Ion wave
nervous system, respiration, circulation, digestion. But whatever situation we put you into, it's up to us to set up a worst-case scenario. A functioning component of the spacecraft, under the guidance of Dr. Stevens, every stage of development, and to simulate every possible disaster you might encounter in actual flight.
This is the docking simulation. Captain Claggett, handle the controls.
This is your big chance, Randy.
Left-hand seat, we'll make it the dock.
Cross your fingers, AC.
Easy, Claggett. Easy.
Here we go. Just a piece of cake.
Concentrate, Captain.
Check it. Negative. Fore and aft extinguisher. Negative. There's no
Get
red.
out, gentlemen, as quickly as possible.
Let's bail.
I lied to you. The simulator didn't explode.
Yeah. How do we do?
Commander and pilot responded with all the right procedures, if in fact one of the rockets had actually exploded. However, both commander and pilot failed to activate emergency control of oxygen. Therefore, the mission crashed. You're both dead.
Watch. Please, darling, I can't possibly cope with a couple of California surfers right now. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it has absolutely nothing. No, I realize one of them's my son. Yes. No, it has nothing to do with whether I care about him or not. Rachel. Look, I can't talk about it now. Yes, you too. I'll call you back. Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, maybe it's just in my head, but in piecing things together, I'm beginning to sense a pattern.
Well, which pattern is that?
Well, it's sort of a pecking order with Randy Claggett on one end and me on the other. Whether it's the seating assignment or the program roster. I guess I've just got too much pride not to notice.
Oh, Commander, come on. There's no such thing as too much pride. Not if it's channeled properly.
You think mine is misdirected?
No, not misdirected. I think you got real good antennae. I just think you shouldn't let it bug you because it has nothing to do with your talent.
So there is a list, and I'm on the bottom.
Well, you're right. The selection process isn't based solely on merit, especially when you're looking for role models and pilots.
Well, what's my weakness, then? If I don't know, I can't very well improve upon it, can I?
Sir, you don't really have a weakness. It's just you don't conform to the norm. Or our conception of what the norm is what I mean. You don't live with your wife. You don't have any children.
Well, what's that got to do with my ability?
Nothing. On one hand. However, on the other hand, it makes you unpredictable. But we still chose you for what you could do for us once you get up there.
But on the ground, you mean watch out?
In a sense, John, yeah.
Well, I thank you for leveling with me. But I also think that I was entitled to that.
You're right. You were. Particularly since I feel a great sense of indebtedness to your wife on a number of matters.
It's funny she never mentioned it.
I don't guess she would. She's quite a gal, your Penny Pope. I consider her family. And obviously that makes you family. So let me pose what would otherwise seem to be an invasive question.
Wait a minute. You're going to ask me if Penny can take a leave of absence from her work? Come down to Houston while I'm in training?
Excellent, John Pope. Excellent. Your antennae are still functioning.
Well, the answer to that question is, I'd never ask her to.
It's curious. My wife once told me that she felt she had more in common with Penny than any of the other wives.
Well, then you can understand my reluctance.
Yeah. In a way. But you know, with Rachel and me, my work has always been given. Everything else came second.
Well, Rachel's Rachel and Penny's Penny. You know, I envy you for being able to program your life so successfully.
Please. You know what I wish I could do? What? Walk on the moon.
Oh, Stanley, I think you're as Inexhaustible as you were at 25.
18.
Hmm? King of the Hill, Stan.
Say it like you mean it.
I mean it.
For what?
For nothing.
Honest engine?
Honest engine. Sometimes you're too strong.
There you go. Talking about Millard again.
Yeah, he's part of it, and I'm the rest.
What are you saying? I intimidate you?
That's a good word, intimidate. It's more like you have me programmed. I feel structured. No kidding. I'm so structured, I feel like I can't tell you I want a job.
I don't believe it. You want a job? Get a job. Become America's first woman astronaut. I got some pull at NASA. I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah, I am serious. I need to work.
Well, get a job. I just told you that.
I have a job. Working for Tucker Thomas.
Terrific.
It's not meant to challenge your virility.
Who's challenged?
Then come back to bed.
Sure, so you can hustle me again?
Yeah, I want you to go see Millard.
Boy, I gotta tell you something. I really resent this negotiation.
It has its compensations.
Really?
Brothers and sisters, the most important war you have to fight in your life is the war against sin. I see it in you. I see it in all of you. From every corner of this building, I smell the sin. I feel it coming at me. I see all of you. What did you do last night? What did you do? What bars were you in? What evil did you do last night? What terrible sin? What evil? What foul?
3 o'clock.
Did you do last
Oh,
night?
thank you.
You're welcome.
Stay here and watch this for a moment, will you?
All right.
Come to me because I can bring you to Jesus. I can bring you to Jesus.
Since when have you been interested in evangelists?
It's the same question I asked him. Ever since I caught this fellow's act back in July. He was working out of a tent then in Tarzana, of all places. Whipping the lost souls into a frenzy that would have made Father Divine blush.
He converting you, Leopold?
Huh? He already has. I have an announcement to make. This announcement, on a personal level, I'm terribly afraid is going to require our getting married.
Oh, Leopold. Oh, Leopold.
Congratulations.
When?
As soon as possible. Now, on a professional level, we're about to take a quantum leap.
You declaring a dividend, Leopold?
There are many dividends. This will provide future benefits beyond belief.
You said that 3 years ago, and I'm still living in the valley.
Life is tough, Ramon. We have all been financially prudent. But in doing so, we have now managed to acquire the wherewithal to launch a new venture. And we have also managed, by not feathering our own nests, to retain our personal integrity.
What business pays off on integrity these days?
The religion business. My friends, let me explain. See, you are now watching what road company Elmer Gantry can accomplish in less than 6 months.
He has gone from a tent in Tarzana to a weekly spot on a local TV station entirely on their measly contributions. Now, you just imagine, my friends, in your soul of souls, what a probe could have done in the same time.
I don't believe what I'm hearing.
Oh, I love every word of it.
The Universal Space Associates has reached a plateau. It is rewarding, but it's impersonal. I truly believe that the time has now come for us to reach into people's lives, not just the pocketbooks.
But why, Leopold? We have such a good thing going here.
Because I want their minds, Ramirez.
And I said...
We interrupt this program for a late-breaking news bulletin.
Three shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas today. I don't believe that President Kennedy has been taken to Parkland Memorial Hospital. We have a confirmed report now. It's confirmed President John F. Kennedy has been shot. Outside Parkland Memorial Hospital, there's confusion, a lot of confusion. People are milling around. We'll try to bring you an update. It's confirmed. Oh, no. The president, I repeat, the president is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the United States is dead. President John F. Kennedy died at approximately 1 o'clock in Central Standard Time today here in Dallas.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
I'm sorry I ruined your dinner.
Oh, no, don't be silly. I enjoyed dinner.
Like hell you did. Me crying in my beer about a daughter who's living with some creep in a diploma factory, and a wife who's up to 50
Okay,
gin a
Norman,
day.
you've got problems. Everybody does.
Thank God for the work.
The Senate's your whole life, isn't it?
The Senate. And you. Can't take a compliment?
No, I don't want to talk about us tonight, all right?
Oh, we've known each other long enough. We could talk.
Maybe too long. Norman, I'm sorry. I'm tired. I've had a long week. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, you meant it. You're probably right.
No, it's just that tonight the Glancies, I don't know. I was very embarrassed. He knows what's going on.
Oh,
She
I don't
probably
think
does.
they know.
Well, they
She's
have to
not
know
the-
if they weren't blind. I mean, they can see the way we look at each
How
other.
do we look at each
Oh,
other?
Norman, don't play games
No,
with me.
I'm not playing games. I really mean it. How do we look at each other? After all this time together, off and on, I'm not sure where you and I are.
Well, that is because we are nowhere at all, Norman. We meet at night, you leave in the morning, and we spend the rest of the day pretending that we don't exist.
You believe that?
Yes, I do.
You want to change it?
No, I can't. I still care too much about John, and you know that.
If you and John were living together, I guess none of this would be happening, would it?
I don't know.
And what the hell am I doing here? Trying to assure you're having a healthy sex life? I don't think I can settle for that anymore, Penn.
Norman, whatever it is, I need you.
Why? Now, you can take off for a weekend in Houston anytime you want.
I know that, but it's not that simple.
No. No, it's not. It's never that simple.
Changing of the guard, renewed commitments, and in the Florida swampland, a towering gantry loomed over the maelstrom. Legions of scientists, engineers, technicians of every stripe. For each of them, a heightened sense of obligation to meet Kennedy's deadline. And if there was pressure, there was also release from that pressure in the neighboring community of Cocoa Beach.
My time.
Rachel, I just saw Claggett sneaking a girl into his room, and I doubt that she's even 17 years old.
Oh, Tucker, look, relax. Have a drink.
Hey, what's she doing here? She should be over Canaveral with the rest of the press. There's a briefing going on.
She's writing a book about our six.
Yeah, I know. But why here? Now. This ain't exactly the rest.
Yeah,
This okay right there?
Yeah,
Uh-oh. She sees them. Now, why couldn't he have stayed up there just 30 minutes longer?
maybe it's their accelerated program. Everything gets speeded up.
You naughty girl. I better go and throw up a smoke screen. Hi, Miss Reed.
Hello, Mr. Thomas.
May I join you?
Yeah, have a seat.
Can I buy you a drink?
No, thanks. I don't drink. You worried about Major Claggett?
Randy? Why? What's to worry about Randy?
Well, he's being just a little indiscreet, don't you think? I mean, I don't know, maybe the girl is 18.
What girl?
That one. The little one.
Oh, you mean Allie, his niece from Wichita?
No, I mean Betty Jean. She's a groupie from Tampa. See, I do my homework, Mr. Thomas.
If you write one word about this.
One? What do you mean one? I'm going to do 60,000.
Oh, I'd reconsider that if I were you.
Mr. Thomas, you've got your job, all right? You manufacture fairy tales for the American public. I'm just trying to provide the rest of the world with a more mature impression of what's going on around here.
Nevertheless, you'd be well advised to use caution.
Why do I have to be careful? I'm not the one who's trying to sell anything. I'm just taking notes on a very attractive young man. Menheet.
As an alien, Miss Ree, you could find yourself in a lot of trouble. Do you know that?
Mr. Thomas, I'm just getting started in this game, okay? So I'm still looking for trouble.
I see. Well, I wish you good luck with your story.
And you'll do everything to prevent me from getting it.
With my 6 astronauts? Yes, I will. So remember, you've been warned.
Well, that's part of the story, too. Isn't it?
Didn't go too well.
Get her little Korean butt deported if she's not careful.
Tucker, you can't discriminate against somebody doing her job.
I don't care what she writes. What worries me are the rumors about what she's going to do.
What are you wasting your time on rumors for?
Because they say she intends to sleep with each one of our astronauts. It's part of her research.
Tucker, that's silly. That's preposterous, isn't it?
Preposterous?
Mm-hmm.
I understand she's already made it to Jensen.
You're just getting carried away, Tucker.
Let's hope so, Rachel. Let's pray so.
Okay, and then what?
East is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet. Kipling.
I never believed a word that limey ever wrote.
Hello, Major Claggett. I'm Cindy Reed.
Oh, you certainly are. Oh, excuse me, this is Betty Jane
Wojciechowicz.
Well, why don't you just take a load off here?
Thank you.
Yeah. Solna Natayo?
별로. 한국말 어떻게 하세요? 한국말 잘 하시네요.
Hancock 천천대 초창사 요섭니다. Hancock 말 좀 맞세요?
당신이 나보다 더 잘해요.
Randy.
전년 일본에서 살았어요.
사람들이 아주 좋아요. 일만 하세요.
별로 재미없어요?
Randy, I'm gonna leave.
나도 봐, 달룰.
이름이 뭐예요?
Randy, I'm really gonna leave.
Cindy.
Cindy
Sorry.
Reed.
Yeah.
당신이 누구인지 알아요.
당신이 알리오 고요요.
어떻게 알아요?
Hey, Claggett, Randall Claggett, none 달 알아요. Hey, what happened to her?
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you had a pleasant flight with us today. We'd like to thank you for flying Eastern Airlines. We hope you enjoy your stay here in the Los Angeles area.
Is Mellors here?
You're his father.
Right. You're Roger.
Come in. He's out.
Would it, be okay if I waited?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Thank you.
Forgive me for being so curt.
No, you weren't curt.
No, really. It's not my style. It's just we had a nasty experience here recently. See, my father came all the way from Louisville to try and drag me out of here by my ears, so, Look, you want something to drink?
Yeah. That'd be nice. Some fresh tonic water with some ice, if you got it. Be good.
Sure. Fresh lime?
Good. Thank you.
Dr. Mark?
Oh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers. I want you to know that I'm not here to judge anybody. I just, want to make sure that Millard is getting along okay.
Sounds vaguely reminiscent of my father's opening gambit.
I thought you said he came loaded for bear.
Oh, yeah. That was an hour later. Butter melted in his mouth when he came through the door.
Believe me. I will behave myself.
Yeah, but after 3 scotch and sodas, he reverted to type.
Which is?
Oh, a throwback to his father, the Grand Wizard. Whatever you call those people who run around in sheets.
What's your father do?
Oh, nothing as impressive as what you do. He operates a raceway. Anyhow, once your son left us to catch a film, my daddy took off the gloves in a hurry. Literally spat on the floor where Millard was standing. And he proceeded to threaten my life if any of his drivers ever found out I was living with another man.
How did you handle that?
By telling him the truth. That the first man I ever made love with was his #1 driver. Of course, the shock of that enraged him even more. And he beat me till I bled. Called me every obscenity, all the while allowing his own anger to take him over. But can I tell you something, Dr. Mott?
Yes.
Deeply as he hurt me, and he hurt me, I came out of it much stronger than he did. And I think that Millard would find the same inner strength if you ever dealt with him in a cruel way.
I'm sure I would.
Hello. Okay, send him in. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to meet the guest of honor at our very first telecast.
You already bought TV time?
Yes, I did it all on my own, but not just to sell what he was selling, you see. I want issues. I want controversy. And what better way to create controversy than by attacking the sacrilege of evolution?
A monkey?
Chimp.
And his name is Frank.
Frank is everything I hoped it would be.
Oh, he's adorable. How does he fit into the plans?
Well, it's very simple, dear wife-to-be. You are now in the television audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to call Frank here my friend, but I cannot, I will not, I categorically refuse to admit that this is my great-great-grandfather. How's that sound, Frank? Amen and pass the plate. Shake. Partners.
Tim, would you mind dropping Eleanor off at the house? I promised to give Gawain a few minutes.
Sure thing, sure, yeah.
No, I'm perfectly able to wait, Norman.
Honey, it's awfully late. I may be a while.
It's gonna go on and on, no, really.
But you just said a few minutes.
Yeah, car's out back, come on.
Don't just leave the porch light on and the back door open.
Mm-hmm. Just like old times.
Yes, but only better, Al. I promise you.
Don't be too late. All right. Senator, congratulations.
Don, thanks and Godspeed.
Thank you.
I asked Mrs. Pope to hang around for this, Senator.
Oh, that's fine by me. After all, she's the one who got you to re-enlist.
She also works with you on space, and that's what this is about.
Well, you want me to help you with something at NASA, don't you?
I'm not looking for a job.
No, I didn't mean that.
Doing very well, thank
We know that, Gordon. I understand you're almost set for superintendent of schools in Detroit.
That's correct.
Yes?
Yeah.
Our congratulations premature?
Well, I'll take them.
That's very good
I think
news.
it's great. Well, Gawain, a lot of years.
Yeah, a lot of years. Let me show you something.
Oh, yeah, the NASA picture. Glenn's group, there's Aldrin's gang, the solid six, they're all our boys.
36 fine Americans. How much would you estimate it cost to educate each one of them?
Oh, I think someone made an off-the-cuff guess at $3 million, I think.
3 1/4.
Three and a quarter.
Anything about the pictures strike you as strange?
Yes. There's not a black face among them. I know that, Gawain. I can only move so fast.
You're not moving fast enough.
Well, what would you have me do?
We comprise about 12% of the population. There ought to be at least 4 of our best young men in those pictures.
They have a very careful process of selection, I'm sure that...
Careful in what regard, Senator?
Are you suggesting I'm a racist?
The worst kind, one who's not even aware of his racism. Sins of omission, my friend, depriving a constituency that helped get you elected.
Do you honestly believe that, Gawain?
All I believe are the facts. It's been 10 years since Brown versus the Board of Education. 9 years since the Supreme Court ordered desegregation, and hundreds of school districts still choose to laughingly misinterpret the phrase with all deliberate speed.
I happen to be on record as wanting to toughen that phrase.
You and pitifully few others. And consider the 24th Amendment we just adopted. It bars federal poll taxes. But what about those literacy tests in almost a dozen states?
I happen to be against them.
Fine. But is that an intellectual response, or do you do something about it?
Well, not enough, I'm afraid.
This country's made space its major effort. $5 billion a year, maybe 6, I'm told. Publicity, speeches, whole magazines given over to this program. And not one black man participates on any level? Why do you always cut us off from the best parts of our American life? I hope you'll do something about it now. You gotta do something.
I hear you, Gawain. Believe me, I hear.
I'm glad you do. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Gwen, for all your help. Good to see you.
You're welcome. Goodbye, Penny.
It really has been good seeing you.
It's late, Norman. I'm going.
I don't want you to.
My husband's waiting for me.
Does he know what's going on?
Nothing is going on. No. You and I occasionally wrestle in the mud like animals, and that's all.
I don't believe you.
Well, that's the truth of it, isn't it?
You have been selected as primary crew for the next Gemini launch.
Hey, we're on, buddy.
EVA, all the way.
Spacewalk.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who gets to dance.
That's right. You do the spacewalk, I do the docking. The docking's more important. That's why they got me doing that. We got to get there first.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Hey, new EVA crew right here.
All of us want to see this program go forward in an orderly manner. And each of you are scheduled for future flights, future greatness. Hope and Claggett are scheduled for the Gemini flight next week. Next week. Can't you see the program goes up in smoke if any of you besmirch the name astronaut? Especially with the press surrounding us as they do, and I might add at our invitation.
Are you talking about anybody in particular, Mr. Thomas?
No, I am talking about a condition. A state of affairs.
Why don't you just come out with it? You're talking about sex.
Gentlemen, please, a little respect. All right. The man speaks from the heart. Please, let him talk.
Believe it or not, we all have sex hormones. I'm talking about illicit sex, and we will not tolerate any of you getting involved. Not when I've broken my back selling you to the public as young demigods.
Well, I don't see where you get off interfering with our personal lives.
Let it go, AC.
No, I'll speak to that. Among other things, Commander, space is a business, one which requires constant funding from one source only, the U.S. Congress. Now, in case you missed the fact, Congress has just cut the program to the bone. So the last thing we need now is a sex scandal with all the lurid publicity which that would bring.
Mr. Thomas, with all due respect, why don't you stick it?
That's it, guys. Let's just adjourn it for now.
Sounds like a good idea.
Thank you.
Imagine
you mean it, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, lose my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
The death of Jensen served to remind his mourners of the mortality of man, a unifying thought so close to the upcoming Gemini flight, but a thought which took its toll on others as well.
Dr. Charles Murphy to pediatrics. Inhalation therapy to NICU. Inhalation therapy to NICU.
Please, Dr. Stanley Mott, which floor?
Room 151.
There was no need to leave the Cape.
How is he?
He's beat.
That's it, no heart complications?
Dieter.
Just 5 minutes.
Better smile, or they're gonna boot you right out of here on your can.
I am smiling.
No, you're not. Smile. Come on. That's my little German. It's a new thing, you know.
Oh, smiling?
I call it holistic medicine. The overall picture. You know, if there's nothing discernible, then you're supposed to think positive.
Sounds like the way we run our space program.
Now that subject has come up.
No. Now, Rachel made me promise.
Gemini is still scheduled for Friday, isn't it? And there's no morale problem.
No.
Pope and Claggett.
They're fine.
You know, they really love Jensen.
I promise you, Stanley. They're both fine.
Now, one question before we go any further.
Were we going any further?
Well, I don't know about you, but... No, Cindy.
What, Randall?
Now, that rumor about you sleeping with the whole group. Listen. Now, was that one at a time or all 6 together?
Which would you prefer?
I'm just an old-fashioned Southern boy. And I think I'd prefer one-on-one with you, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
I feel so grateful for you.
Thank you. Good evening.
You got a reservation?
No, my husband's staying here. Commander Pope?
You don't give out room numbers.
I'm Mrs. Pope.
Well, we get a lot of young stuff through here with that line.
Well, that's terrific, but I am his wife.
Either way, you're too late. You already left.
But that's impossible. I mean, they weren't scheduled to leave for 2 days yet.
The schedule has been changed, Mrs. Pope. Tucker Thomas.
Oh,
We met before in Houston.
yes, I remember that. Mr. Thomas, what's happened here? I spoke with John 2 days ago. He knew I was coming down tonight.
Oh, the weather report turned sour for the weekend, so they moved the launch up a day.
I wish I'd known.
He did try to call you. So did my office. But I guess you were out of town or something.
Where are they now? Are they in isolation quarters?
Yes, they'll be there until 4:15 Thursday morning. It's to protect them from outside contamination before the flight.
Yes, I know that.
Oh. I know John will be disappointed, but then he's learned to live with disappointment, hasn't he? If you don't mind my saying so.
I mind very much. Right now, Mr. Thomas, I'm more concerned about what might happen to my husband. Back to the airport, please.
This is Gemini Launch Control. T with 7 minutes and counting. Countdown is proceeding at this time.
Is that really Mrs.
We
Pope?
are still go for Gemini. We're aiming toward our planned liftoff at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The countdown continues. Latest weather advisories are such that conditions are predicted to be acceptable for a launch at 11:15 a.m. The launch director has given a go to continue the countdown.
a nice day for a ride in the country.
Flag is John 12. Could be worse.
Morning.
We're busy in the spacecraft.
Get the way.
Spacecraft has just gone off cold internal cloud. We'll be coming up shortly with some command signals from Mission Control in Houston. We're sure that Houston will be able to send proper commands to the spacecraft. Our countdown is proceeding.
Good morning.
T minus 5 minutes and 33 seconds. And counting. The elevator.
10th floor, lingerie, sleepwear, and sporting goods.
The men in white will help the astronauts enter the capsule.
Be careful here, AC. You fall now, it's embarrassing.
You worry about me. 2 minutes and counting. Tight launch vehicle is fully pressurized.
I should have turned down that second stack of pancakes.
Landing. 1 minute, 40 seconds, counting at this time. T with 90 seconds and counting.
That's more comfortable now, thank you, that's good.
Still go. Down over here, inspiring all is still well.
I'll send you a postcard.
You do that, Captain.
1 minute, 15 seconds, counting. Coming up for 60 seconds.
Off. Van Allen.
We are T-minus 20 and counting. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
You have ignition.
Right in the window.
Seconds out, the roll program
stage one has shut down. And for the next few tantalizing seconds, which may seem like hours for many, the rocket will continue its climb in silence. However, stage two will blast off with a force of 110,000 pounds thrust. And that force will impact on the relatively frail Gemini.
24 seconds out, and of course the pitch program.
Sayonara!
Houston, we have pogo.
How much pogo?
Oscillation pronounced.
We've had it on all previous missions.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, tell that to my stomach.
Element should dissipate within 15 seconds.
Pogo terminated.
Stand by for engine shutdown.
Only 10 seconds to separation. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
3. You have achieved orbit.
That's the way we see it, Houston. Got yourself a couple of very happy stickmen up here.
How does it feel being 160 miles above the Earth?
Well, it's a hell of a lot better than being 160 miles below it.
Wait till you try docking.
It's their 6th day in orbit. NASA tells me it's a flawless mission, and funding is more of a problem than ever. A lot of the electorate is feeling disenfranchised.
You're talking about ethnics again? Norman, we checked that out once. No blacks were qualified at the time.
Then let's change the qualifications. And until then, let's lean on the apparatus to at least get a few blacks and Hispanics in mission control.
Council doesn't want to put a word in for the ladies?
More jokes, Larry?
No, I think Senator Kalmus is being serious.
Either way, I'm talking pragmatism. I'm also talking morality. A unanimous vote of this committee might shake things up.
Norman, we are all beat. Why don't we adjourn for now?
I move that we adjourn.
Second. Good night, Benny.
Good night, Larry.
Good night, Norman.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Good night, Benny.
Hey, guys, wait up. If you have a minute, Senator, I'd like to speak with you about something. Well, Norman, I may have had my doubts in the early days, but you've really hit your stride now, like Lyndon, when you found your issue, space.
I tried, Counselor.
Yes, well, you've succeeded, Senator. I mean, the public hears the name Grant. It conjures up all kinds of wonderful NASA images, Canaveral, Houston, Langley. I mean, you're their link to the astronauts.
But not the astronauts' wives.
I wouldn't say that.
What's on your mind?
Norman, I don't know how to say it.
It's getting late.
Please forgive me. Please.
What is it you want?
Not to feel guilty. I don't want to feel guilty anymore.
I can't help you there.
Stinker.
Perfect. You're on 2:21:36 into the flight.
Copy, Houston. 5 is 13 miles below and 22 behind.
Houston, computer agrees. Now all you have to do is match a genus 18,000 miles an hour speed and make rendezvous.
Houston, would you believe it? At 2:52:07 into the flight, we have made a perfect rendezvous.
Proceed to dock.
Houston, I want the right-hand seat to make the dock.
Any special reason?
Yeah, he's hungrier than I am.
Roger.
We have TM solid. You're looking good on the ground. Go ahead and start.
Guess I owe you one, buddy.
Okay, go ahead with your memory compare.
Watch this.
Come on, AC. It's as easy as parking in your own garage. Houston, we've made contact.
Controller's armed.
Houston, we got a hard dock.
Beautiful. That big sigh of relief, deep breather.
Flight surgeon says to have a good
Around the world, another morning. Not so very different from the morning before or tomorrow morning. This day on which man will leave Earth to walk in space, 3 billion people go about their daily lives. Some in the way their ancestors did centuries before. Others in a world shaped by modern technology.
Boy, you're sure taking that doctor's program seriously, aren't you?
Well, someone's got to stay in shape. Who do you think's going to be pulling you out of the water after splashdown?
No muscle of mine's gonna atrophy. You know, talking about atrophy, tell me something. How do you and Penn hack it? I mean, you in Houston, her in D.C.
We're not the first Navy family to have to deal with separation.
And knowing that makes it easier.
Do me a favor, pal. Why don't you stop being so perceptive?
4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Anyway, it's about time for your big dance.
Gemini, you should be ready for EVA.
Roger.
Enjoy your walk in space, John.
I'll sure try, Houston.
The first successful phase of Gemini's mission was now a matter of record. Man had demonstrated his ability to live and work in space for a prolonged period. A significant prelude. But the ultimate stepping stone to the moon would be Phase 2, Operation Spacewalk.
Hope's heartbeat is showing a slight increase.
And yours, Doctor?
Ready or not, here I go.
quiet out there. Jump, you chicken! You can't believe the picture we're getting. The resolution is really fantastic. Oh, Snoopy sure looks good. Purdue. Hey, I don't know what you did, but it's really beautiful now.
Oh, yeah, it's looking good, John.
We're just a little closer. Yeah. Yeah, the color is great. How's that for the front porch? Oh, boy, that's beautiful.
How magnificent it all is from up here. The earth looks so fragile. Can't see any borders from here. My God. The difference between night and day is clean as a knife's edge.
There goes the sun.
The oceans are so blue. I see Asia coming up. The Himalayas. Incredible beauty of it all. I almost wish we could go on forever.
Paves the way to the moon and beyond.
Is this thing working? Hello? Ladies and gentlemen, and I specifically include those at the head table, no big speech tonight. But we would be remiss not to mark this occasion, because tonight we celebrate not only the safe return of Major Flaggett and the Pope, although I dare say their wives think that's ample reason to celebrate.
You bet you!
My NASA friends would like for me to point out the scientific aspect of the Gemini mission, which creates a problem because I can neither spell nor pronounce Giggenshine.
That means nebulosity, partner.
Somebody better explain what nebulosity means.
Irregardless, as my friend Casey Stengel would say, tonight is special, my friends, because our astronauts have proved that man can live in space. Man can rendezvous with another vehicle in space, and man can operate outside that vehicle in space. And this is a first, because we bring together the four basic elements of our mission: science, engineering, funding, and flying, in no particular order. So, without further ado, it's my pleasure and my pride to present Senator Norman Grant. Dr. Stanley Mark. Mr. Peter Trout. And the Gemini
And what was it you said up there in space?
That I wished it could go on forever.
I ached for you so much that night. You told me once that you didn't know if you could go on. I mean, not having a wife around.
What are you trying to say, Penny? You're sleeping with another man, aren't you? I don't care who it is, or how many times you've done it. You know, it's funny. You make love with someone as long as we have. You just know.
has been someone, yes. Has been for quite a while. Off and on. Frequently, there were months in between. And then again, more frequently. You never meant any less to me, John. It's just there were a lot of reasons, I guess. I mean, I don't know. There were the long separations, and there was just a need. A simple, plain need to be with someone. To be with someone at the end of the day. And I don't know how many times I wanted to ask you to help me. I mean, to try to find some way to work this out for us, to live under the same roof. But, I mean, I didn't know how to do that. I mean, who would give in? You, me? We would sublimate which career? And I didn't know. I can tell you this. That I never stopped loving you, not for a moment. And I never wanted anything to touch our marriage. You have to believe that, John. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It has been a glorious day for America and for our space program. Once again, pictures of Commander John Pope as he left his spacecraft and walked free 160 miles above the surface of the Earth. What a victory for our country and for this intrepid young American. With this tremendous achievement, America has taken a giant step toward the moon. Congratulations to astronauts Claggett and Pope, who have brought glory to all of us.